assets invested is investment times 4 times the spot rate. I'm gonna do this general. Oh, number of months, 3. I'm gonna take that 24 million rubles, invested at 30%. But since it's for 3 months, I'm effectively getting an out of 7.5%. Convert to dollars. So X rate at maturity, 6.10, let's say. Loan payback is 3 times the investment amount times 1 plus lending rate. Net payout is and yield of products divide the net payout with the investments minus 1, and we're going to convert that into APR, which means times 12 divided by number of months. So if that's 6.3, and so on and so forth. Okay. Typically, such a product has a knockout feature. Think about this. If something happened, or let's do that 9. Something happened and ruble suddenly started jump to 9 from 6. The total amount I get back is less than what I lended as the investment bank. So I would actually lose money. So which means when you design a product like this, you typically put in a knockout feature. For example, at 6.5, I mean, they're losing money, about 10% of or 8% of their money, or about 7. They're losing close to a third of their money, which means if the exchange rate exceeds knockout value, product is terminated and customer receives the US dollar value of the assets at the time. Such a feature is there, A, to protect the investment bank, and B, to actually, in a sense, protect the customer as well. Because when a move like that happens, more than likely, even a more severe move is going to happen. Such a product wasn't that popular because customers did not want to take that kind of risk. We typically sold products where the forward rate obtained by the investment bank from Russian banks or counterparties was used to determine the payout. What was rather interesting those days, if you calculated a forward rate, fair value would have been, for 3 months, six times 1 plus 30% over 4 divided by 1 plus 5% over 4, since LIBOR was 4, 637, okay? 637.04. In fact, at 637, you would actually lose money because of all the leverage, and I'm charging you extra. But for some odd reason, Russian banks quoted forward rates that were based on what they thought exchange rates change would have been. Most Russian banks quoted something like 610, 615 range as forward. They basically did not believe that ruble was going to be depreciating as much as implied by the fair value of the forward market. So let's do the 615, okay? We basically went to our clients, and I sold, not just me, other traders as well, a lot of these things. We told them, you give us $1 million, we're going to keep your money for 3 months, and we're going to give back 1,142,621, which is a 57% yield, rather nice, instead of the 5% they can get at LIBOR at best. Especially firms who wanted to take some risk, they just jumped on it. I had one client that I begged out of these products. He was waiting for October. He had $250 million invested into these products. I mean, think about he was trying to make about 35 plus $1 million in 3 months. And he was managing some of the cash flow of Formosa Plastics. Those days in 1998, these guys had $8 billion of cash. Well, even now, $8 billion of cash is a lot of money. Back in 1998, it was really a lot of money. I would be extremely surprised if most of that money was not Triad money. Triad is Chinese mafia. That kind of cash, or they were laundering that money through them. But there was a nice little clause in these products. We told them as long as that forward transaction that is the basis of this product is honored, you get that amount. But for example, one of the Russian banks we did a lot of work was Alpha Bank. Are they still around? Okay. It's private. I know it was private those days too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did some work with the Vinesh Bank. It's still around. Vinesh, Vinesh Bank. It was some sort of state bank, state-owned bank. Anyway, this was back in '98. You probably weren't even born then. And these guys ended up not honoring those. Why? Because I was begging these guys to get out of China or Russia and invest all of them into Turkey. I mean, I had selfish reasons in addition to thinking of my client because I had not sold them those 250. So if I put them into Turkish products for 250, more than likely we would have made at least $5 million off of those guys. And DLJ in typical years paid you 10% of the money you made for them as bonus. So in one deal, I would have made $500,000 in bonus. Of course, that year turned out to be not a typical year, but even though I made them over $20 million, in a normal year, I would have gotten $2 million bonus. Because of what happened to Russia, the desk itself lost a lot of money. So we just got our guaranteed. I still got $250,000 as guaranteed bonus, but still, 2 million, quarter million. Anyway, I had selfish reasons to do it in addition to thinking of the client. Because summer of 98, Russia was basically, a powder keg. We just didn't know when it was going to explode. Remember, this is only about 7 years after collapse of Soviet Union.